Hi guys, it's Sabrina, your host of About This Aging Thing. Black don't crack, but what about our sex, health, interest, and truth? That's normally what we're talking about, but this month I've been doing some segments about grieving, what we go through during grieving. So we're going to continue that this month, and we'll get back to sex, health, interest, and truth in September, starting with Mistress Angela the first Sunday of September. So we're excited about that. I wanted to continue the conversations we've been having. The last segment, we talked about being a caretaker. Um, Today, we're going to talk about getting back out there, whatever that looks like for you. Getting back out there could be doing the things that you used to do before you lost the person that you lost. And remember, we talk about loss. It's not just someone transitioning or dying or going to a better place, whatever you relate to. It could be a divorce. It could be a friendship that ended that you miss. It could be a job that you didn't see the termination coming, and you love the job, that you're doing a great job at the job, and the people that you were working with just kind of blindsided you with that. No communication. Just said, hey, we're not going to keep you. That could be very traumatic to a lot of people, and it could cause a grief, right? Because grief is a loss. I want to talk about when I say get back out there. So let me just say this in the forefront. I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite because it's been very hard for me to get back out there, right? Get back out there for me, it's just getting back to who I used to be. I miss me. I miss who I used to be, but what I realize is that the person I used to be left when the person that transitioned left, right? When my husband passed away, he took a lot of me with him. And what I had to do is figure out who I am now. So I got hit hard 3 times, right? My brother passed away. He was my best friend, my little baby brother. He took some of me with him as well. When my mom passed away, she definitely took some of me with her. And when my husband passed away, he took some of me with him. And so I have been hit quite a few times. In the midst of all that, there were other people in my life that have transitioned, that took small pieces of me with them based on our relationship, right? So now I'm trying to figure out, who am I now? Because I don't think you can go back. This is my personal opinion. Like I always say, I'm not a certified grief coach. I'm just sharing my personal opinion and my personal experiences with you. I don't know that you can get yourself back 100%. I think that instead of putting a lot of energy into trying to go back, I think it's looking forward and saying, who am I now? Who am I now after all of this trauma? After the healing, as I'm going through healing, after being in the darkness, after navigating through the pain, who am I now? And that's what I'm working on personally. Like, who am I now? I know I like being very peaceful. I do recognize that I'm a little quieter than I used to be. Now, I've never been someone who's not quiet. I've been pretty quiet all my life. Like I do now, I can talk. Now we all know that, but that happens in a conversation with people that I know. But normally around people that I don't really know, I don't do a lot of talking. But now the people that I do know have said to me, you're a little more quieter than you used to be. I recognize that. I miss some of the things I used to do that brought me joy. I have not gotten back to doing them yet. I think some of that is sometimes we feel guilty, have survivor's guilt. And I think sometimes we think we don't deserve that joy anymore. And so we don't give it to ourselves. I never forget one time I was at a concert at, can't think of the name of the place that's outside. What is it, Lisa? Not Mableton, but the other one in Fulton County, South Fulton. So over there, y'all know what I'm talking about. Lisa's trying to remember it. She looks crazy. Anyway, so we're outside and on a blanket. I was with some friends and they took me out to this concert, trying to cheer me up. And I was really trying hard to be engaged and not be like sad, right? Because everybody was so happy. And I didn't know that a friend was at the concert and they could see me a few blankets away, right? And they texted my phone and said, put a smile on your face. Our mom would want you to be happy today. And that really hit me hard because I was so sad. I felt like I shouldn't be at that concert. I shouldn't be having any fun. You know, somebody suffered. I watched somebody die for the third time, and I just feel like I had no right being happy. And I feel like there are people out there who feel that way, who have lost a sibling, especially when someone has taken their own life. I know a couple of people now who have lost loved ones due to suicide, and I think that is the ultimate guilt, because I think that people question what they should have said, what they could have said. I have a friend who lost her son to suicide, and she said that her son was calling her that morning and she was doing something else, and she was like, oh, I'll just call him back, and then he was gone. And she felt like, had she answered the phone, she could have changed what happened that day, but we'll never know that, right? So I always tell her, don't do that to yourself, because he probably was calling to say goodbye. There probably was nothing you could have done to make him change his mind when he had already decided that's what he was going to do. But I just wanted to encourage you all to do small things that make you happy, and to remember that you deserve the joy. Remember that the people who are gone, whether it be through transition or through a friendship that's no longer or whatever, remember that you deserve to do what you need to do to get you through the darkness and to make you feel happy. We all deserve to be happy. No one was put on this earth to be sad, even though there's a lot of us that are fighting it every day. But I would say fight for yourself. Fight for yourself the way you fight for other people, right? So when you would tell a girlfriend, girl, get up and do blank and da-da-da. Do that to yourself. Stand in the mirror and go, girl, I have had to do that. I'm going to tell y'all one last story, then I'm going to go because it's supposed to be short segments. When my mom passed away, I did not think I was going to make it. I really thought, I was like, this is it, I'm out. First my brother, then my mom. In less than 2 years, I can't do it, right? And my best friend at the time, one of my best friends was a guy who is now no longer with us. He also took a part of me with him because I definitely was a different person with Jason. But anyway, he came to my house because I wasn't answering the phone. He came over and I had been drinking and I was laying on the couch, probably been there for about 3 days, hadn't taken a shower. He came in and he smelled me. He saw me, he smelled me. He goes, oh no, we're not doing this. He got me up. He put me in the shower. He turned the cold water on me. He was letting me have it the whole time, telling me who I was and how I'd forgotten who I was and how my mom would be, whooping me right now, even though my mom didn't believe in spanking children, how she would be on me if she could, to see me responding this way to her passing away. And then he sat in my room while I got dressed to make sure I got dressed, and then put me in his car and then drove me to a very sad place. And it's sad because it was people who were not only homeless, but there was some mental illness. There was some severe depression. And I volunteered with him that day in this place. And it changed my life. And it's exactly what I needed to appreciate what I had. So not to make yourself feel better because someone else is worse off than you, but to make you appreciate, as bad as it feels, as broken as your heart is, to appreciate that there's always somewhere else you could be. In a situation you could be in that's even worse. I know sometimes you're in such grief, you can't imagine it being any worse. My heart literally felt like it was broken. And I understand how people can die from a broken heart because it's so literal. Like it's a physical pain in your heart that you cannot imagine unless you have literally gone through it, right? But he had to remind me that I deserved more than I was giving myself. And he had to tell me, remind me of who I was. And reminding me of who I was, what that did was little by little, day by day, I started feeling a little better. My heart started feeling a little better. I felt like there was more I could have done when my mom was in my arms passing away. I felt like there was more I could have done. I should have called somebody else. I should have been at the door waiting for the ambulance screaming. I don't know. I just feel like there was something else I should have done. But when I got myself together and really thought about it, there was nothing I could have done because everything happens as it should. But because we don't like it, we don't like to believe that when it does happen. that that's how it had to happen, because we don't want to believe that, right? So I just want to say that to you, like, be kinder to yourself. Try getting back out there. If getting back out there just means that you used to like to color in a coloring book and now you have it, pull out a coloring book. Something simple. Play cards with yourself. Get on your phone and play a game. Just do something that gives you a little bit of joy and takes your mind off of any pain that you're in, just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Painting does it for me. When I paint, I don't think about anything else. Find what that is for you. All right. Getting out doesn't mean you have to be out at a club. Doesn't mean you have to be in the streets. Doesn't mean you have to be around a lot of people. It just means that you're doing something that brings you a little bit of joy. And every day it can get better and better. And you can do more and more until you're okay with being happy again. I love you guys. I hope somebody got something out of this today. And we'll be back on our regular scheduled segments in September. I might do one more segment of this, and if Lisa lets me, because the producer, Lily, it's Lily back there. I think she feel like she crying. What's going on back there? Now she laughing, she cries. Anyway, I just want to tell you guys, try to find some joy. Please message me. Like, people have been messaging me, and I really get a lot out of what you're getting out of it. I get a lot out of that, so I appreciate the feedback that you all are sending. And don't forget not to let aging dictate the way you get older. Peace.